Greetings, old school magic players, and welcome to the Four Horsemen. Greetings, old school magic players. Welcome to the Four Horsemen Old School Magic Players group. Today we're going to be covering some Four Horsemen tournament number 18 quarterfinals matches. We are into our playoffs, our quarterfinals playoffs for this tournament 18 event, building up to the semifinals and finals. This tournament's been running January 3rd through February 8th. You can check us out at fourhorsemenmagic.com. The updated banned restricted list is as you see here, and we've got quite a few spicy brews, as well as some really amazing prizes in this tournament. Custom proxies made by John Eckleberry that go out to all of our top 8 players. Let's take a look at the brackets real quick. Today we're going to be covering the match of Jacob Monk versus Nut Andreas Holt. Jacob is playing an Izzet Immolation control deck, blue-green, and some really spicy stuff. Old Man of the Sea, City of Shadows, Mirror Universe. And Nut Andreas Holt is playing a red heat mono red burn deck with really cool stuff like Yidwin of Freet, Rook Egg, Ball Lightning, and Eternal Flame. We're going to take a quick look at Jacob's deck. We don't have time to do the full deck tech because the guys are in the whereby ready to join. And they'll be joining here in just a few minutes, but just a quick overview. This is a really innovative brew. We haven't seen anything quite like this yet. Really taking advantage of City of Shadows and cards like Immolation to reduce your creature's power and toughness. Things like Old Man of the Sea to gain control of your opponent's creatures. The ever-powerful Four Horsemen Azure Drakes and Ghost Ships, which are really tough flyers. And direct damage with Chain Lightnings, and counters with Remove Souls and Mana Drain. Also cool stuff like Maze of Vith, Island of Whack Whack, and just really overall great spicy brew, fantastic sideboard with Blood Moons, Shatter Storms, Falling Stars, Force Spikes, Active Volcanoes. Really cool brew by Jacob. Nut Andreas Holt is running a mono red deck that he called Red Heat, also very spicy, with the really cool Yidwin of Freets, the Ball Lightnings, Rook Eggs, Fissures, Chain Lightnings, Eternal Flames, even some Blazing Effigies down there. Fire Drakes, which we haven't seen those quite very often, and Brothers of Fire as well. A couple Pyrotechnics, also running Immolations. And in the sideboard, the spicy Disharmony, Triskelions, Magnetic Mountain, Active Volcanoes, Mountain Walking Mountain Yetis, as well as the Goblins of the Flarg, and a Shatter Storm, and a couple Detonates, and an Artifact Blast. Really cool brew here by Nut Andreas Holt. I'm going to switch over to the whereby here, and the players are going to be joining us here shortly. Hey, Jacob.
How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good.
Great. Thanks for joining today.
Ja. Hei. Hvorfor er mitt kamera på?
Is this Nut, do you have your camera on?
Yeah, trying to figure out why it's not. It's supposed to be on. I don't even think there's like an on-off button on it. I don't understand. I'm gonna click around.
Yeah, it has to have your camera switched over to whereby.
Right. How do I do that? Where do I click?
There should be a settings gear in the upper right.
Okay, upper right.
Yeah. And then you can go to
Like the wheel or something?
the little wheel.
Video and audio. Integrated cam, right.
Yeah.
Gonna go to the live chat cam. Right. I think that's it, right?
There you go. Yeah, and what you want to
Perfect.
do is you want to set the widescreen option. So if you go into the
do
camera
like
settings.
This? No.
Yeah, if you
I
go
go
to,
on settings.
yeah, go into the video
Again?
and audio, and then at the bottom there's a little tab that says widescreen video.
I do on video and audio, yeah, and then I do.
If you scroll down, you'll have the widescreen video option.
Prefer widescreen when available. It's on.
Okay. There we go. All right. That looks good. Okay, excellent.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I've just did a really quick intro overview of your decks, and we are ready to rock and roll when you guys are.
Cool. Yeah, I'm ready now. Jacob?
Yeah, I'm ready as well. I just shuffled up and made the 3 piles.
Great, and thank you for setting this up for us, Chad.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coordinating with me. This we love doing this. It helps out with our YouTube channel to get all these really cool matches on video, and it's quite a bit easier to do it live than it is to have to go back and do them later. So thanks for scheduling it with me.
Right. Yeah, no, I really like that you have those videos out. I saw this video today. It was from, I think, was it tournament number 15 or something? It was with this one guy, was it Lucas, who had one extra scavenger folk in his deck that wasn't in the deck picture. Do you remember that match?
Yes, and that was actually it was the match versus Lucas, and yes, it was in the tournament 15 semifinals, and yeah, that was a big problem with one of our leading players, Peter, having an extra card in his deck. In retrospect, that should have been a disqualification, and we've actually updated the tournament rules to reflect those types of situations. And
yeah, because that's what I wondered. Like, because there and then it was just, I'd just play it again. But then I thought, like,
right,
that was maybe a bit too soft penalty.
Well, yeah, that was far too soft. We had not encountered that before, and it also happened on the live stream, which was quite shocking. And there's been a lot of follow-up around this topic, and we didn't have a clear rule for what do you do when something like that occurs. So all of those things have now been clearly delineated in the rules document. If there's an error made, rules around etiquette and protocol, all those things are now clearly outlined so that it's fair play for everyone.
Okay, but that's good. So now the result is if you play with a card that's not in the deck list, then it's you lose the entire match.
Yeah, that's right. It's a disqualification. Yeah. It's a 2-0 loss.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
guess
fair enough.
It's fine. It reflects how it is in a normal paper tourney.
Right, so. Yeah. We just want it to be fair, and we want everyone to have a good time. This is a free league, and we're having a lot of fun doing some kind of unique, innovative, and spicy stuff with the Four Horsemen format. And we just want everybody to be able to enjoy it and have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good policy.
All right.
Yeah, good. Yeah, okay, then we're ready to rock. You ready, Chad? You ready, Jacob?
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're ready.
And
good luck to both of you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on mute, and I'll be commentating while you guys are playing. If you have any questions, just you pause. There's a chat box in the bottom if you need to grab me for anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good luck, gentlemen.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, good luck, Jacob.
Yeah, good luck. You can put middle pile on top.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, while we are letting these guys roll here, let's see. Jacob, I believe he is... Where is Jacob from? I think he's from Netherlands, maybe? I need to look it up. But these guys are both in Europe, I believe. So... we've had a lot of interest from European players and Australian players, and growing participation from areas outside the U.S. So that's been cool to see as the format has grown and expanded. Okay, looks like Jacob is taking a mulligan here. Since we had to quickly run through the deck photos, I'd like to jump back over real quick and let's just take another quick look. Jacob is running, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. He's running 17 lands across the top, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So he's running quite a few lands, like 27 lands, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are non-mana producing. The City of Shadows, the Diamond Valley, really awesome card, the Maze of Ith, and also the Island of Whack Whack. So, the mana count can be, pretty sporadic in Four Horsemen. We don't have a lot of mana rampers other than things like Fellwar Stone and Apprentice Wizard, which is a new card that's gaining traction, and things like Elves of Deep Shadow. So often you need to make sure you're running at least 23 or 24 mana producing lands to make sure you've got enough lands going on. All right, so Jacob is drawing and on the play, so I'm going to switch back over to the whereby. All right, so Nut plays a strip mine on turn 1 and looks like, is that a mountain on turn 2? Jacob's got an island and a volcanic and passes turn. Really slow start here for both of these guys. Nut passes turn back to Jacob after playing another mountain. Let's see what Jacob ends up doing here. Is he's still hunting for lands? It looks like it. He's not dropping a land right away. I would have to guess that he did not get enough lands in his opening hand, and doesn't look like he got a third land after his mulligan either. So just a straight chain lightning to Nut and bringing him down to 17. Okay, spicy little card, Brothers of Fire. This is a card we don't see too often. It's a 2/2 that can pay 2 red and 1 and deal a damage to any target. This was a really popular card in the Four Horsemen Pauper Singleton and Pauper Doubleton Spice tournaments that we did last year. There's a Immolation, which gives +2/-2 as an enchantment on that Brothers. So Jacob is very quickly able to deal with him, but Jacob is still missing his 4th land drop as well. So he's really hurting on mana. Okay, Nut is trying to determine what to do next here. Very pensively considering what to do. He may be looking for a 4th mana himself because he's probably got Rook Eggs or something along those lines, but instead he elects to Strip Mine. Ouch, that is rough for Jacob. Jacob's already hurting quite a bit on mana, and that Strip Mine takes him down to only 2 lands. He does top deck that 2nd Tropical Island, but with only 2 lands, he has to pass turn. Okay, Nut gets his 3rd mountain and plays the Yidwin Ifrit. Ooh, and Jacob has a mana drain. Ooh, wow, that is very timely there. So he'll have 3 mana on his main phase here for Jacob. That should help him quite a bit. It'll give him potentially 5 mana, 6 total, playing a 2nd island here. So now he's got some options. This is really going to help Jacob get back in the game here. He can use the 3 mana and 1 to play his Azure Drake. And that is a very, very, very solid attacker and blocker in Four Horsemen. 4 toughness, 2 power, flying, 1 blue, and 3. Really, really solid creature in Four Horsemen. Now here is the lightning. The ball lightning on On that side, he's coming right in for a 6-1 trample. And Jacob's going to have to decide, does he want to block or take all 6 damage? If he takes 6, he's already at 17 because he took the chain lightning. So if he takes all 6, it's going to bring him down to 11. And he'll be down to near half of his life. So that's a very, very tough call. Doesn't want to get that low, knowing that Nut has a lot of other direct damage. But he's going to go ahead and elect to block with the Azure Drake. He takes 2 damage from the trample, and that kills the Drake. Okay, passing turn to Jacob. Jacob really needs another land drop here. Oh, he got it, but oosh, it's the City of Shadows. Interesting land that makes creatures fight each other, but not a mana-producing land, so that is not ideal for Jacob right here. And Nut plays a second Yidwin Efreet. These guys are really powerful. They are 3 toughness, 6, 3 power, 6 toughness. They're very, very hard to get rid of these guys. All right, here comes the Old Man of the Sea. That will allow Jacob to take control of creatures with power or toughness equal to the Old Man's, which he's a 2/3. Not quite helpful right now against this Yidwin Efreet. Also playing a Diamond Valley. Great card to gain life. Too bad he didn't have that earlier for the Azure Drake. And here comes Nut with another Ball Lightning. Just really getting in there with all this red heat damage. 6-1 Trampler and 3-6 Yidwin Efreet coming in. That is really tough for Jacob here. The Old Man is not ideal because he cannot grab the Yidwin Efreet. His power is only a power of 2. The Yidwin's a power of 3. So it looks like, oh wow. So Jacob is taking, did he take 9 damage? He just had to take it all. Brutal, really, really tough hit. And good aggressive attacking on the part of Nut Andreas. Okay, so here comes Immolation. Now this is part of the cool combo. Now the Old Man of the Sea has a power of 4 and a toughness of 1, and now he can gain control over that Yidwin Efreet. Oh! Nut gets to his 5th land and plays the instant Fissure. Fissure destroys a creature or land. And in response, Jacob uses the Diamond Valley to sacrifice the Yidwin Efreet and will gain 6 life. So that is a much needed life gain there. The Fissure targeting the Old Man of the Sea, but Jacob able to Diamond Valley that creature first. Great move on the part of Jacob, as well as on Nut. This is a really tough game. Jacob's clearly on his back feet here, but if he gets another blocker in play, oh wait a minute. The City of, that doesn't tap for mana, right? Hey guys, does the City tap for mana? Yeah.
Do it in response to the Fissure.
Oh, are you guys going? Did I miss something?
Yeah, he had stolen a Efreet,
Yeah.
and then I was shooting the Old Man.
Yeah.
And then in response, he first took the Efreet on his Diamond Valley, and then the Old Man on the other land.
Yeah, I followed that, and he ended up using the Diamond Valley to sacrifice the Yidwin Efreet and gaining 6, and then the Old Man hits the graveyard.
Got counter on the land, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the Shadows here gets the counter. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the City of Shadow ate the Old Man.
Yeah, City of Shadows is a card that we don't see too often, although it's shown up here and there. Let me pull it up on the Gatherer. So you can anytime a creature goes to the graveyard, it gets a counter, or how does it work?
You have to sacrifice a creature, then you get the counter.
Tap sacrifice a creature.
Ah, okay. So the Old Man you sacrificed to the city, and the Yidwin you sacrificed to the Diamond Valley.
Yeah, That's right.
Got it. Okay, nice. What a great move. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
Yeah.
Okay, quite a spicy move there. So that sacrificing of the old man to the city allows the City of Shadows to get a counter on it, and now it can add mana, which really makes it quite a bit better. Okay, so Jacob is able to now play a ghost ship, but Nut gets a second Fisher. Oof, wow. And he takes out the Diamond Valley. And the Diamond Valley was tapped, so Jacob couldn't use it on his ghost ship. And Jacob comes in for his attack with the ghost ship, bringing Nut down to 15, and Jacob is on 12. Jacob is really starting to regain his footing here, and Nut will have to really keep the aggressive pressure going. There is a Rook Egg. Great blocker, fantastic card, really popular in Four Horsemen. There's a Remove Soul that Jacob plays to counter that Rook Egg, and then Nut comes in with the Mishra's Factory. Okay, bringing Jacob down to 10. On to Jacob's turn. At least Jacob's got some defense now. He's got that 2/4 flying ghost ship, which also can regenerate for 3 blue mana. Ghost ship is unbelievably powerful in Four Horsemen. Great blocker. Can really deal with just about any of the mid and small creatures, and Jacob wisely elects not to attack here. Nut's up to 7 mana now, so he can pretty much do whatever he wants with his deck, potentially playing, 2 cards in a turn here. He's got those Eternal Flames, he's got Chain Lightnings, he's got Ball Lightnings, he's got, there it is, there's the Eternal Flame. And there are 6 mountains in play, so this does damage to an opponent of your mountains split in half, so that'll deal 3 damage to Jacob, bringing him down to just a lowly 4 life. Finally, Jacob gets to his 6th mana, and what will he do here? Will he play? Ooh, Amnesia. Interesting. Wow. Okay. A Pyrotechnics. Pyrotechnics. Wow. So that's really spicy. That Amnesia is basically a mind twist. It's the Four Horsemen's mind twist, causing Jacob to discard his hand. And, oh, looky there. Nut plays his second Eternal Flame. Wow.
I think I should have included a bunch of more life gain in my sideboard.
Yeah, like Ivory Tower or something.
Yeah, probably Ivory Tower would have been good.
Wow, guys, that was quite the action-packed game. Game 1. It was really intense.
Yeah.
I thought that Amnesia was going to save you, Jacob, but...
I mean, my deck is pretty slow, so there's lots of time to draw the burn.
Yeah, I think the mulligan hurt you a little bit, and then you were I think you were kind of mana screwed early on, which really slowed you down.
We both were, actually. It was a weird start for the game.
Yeah. Hey, Nut, is your name, am I pronouncing your name correctly? How do I say it properly?
Not if you say Nut.
How do I say it correctly?
Knut.
Knut. Okay.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good.
Knut.
Most English speakers don't get it on the first try. Very good.
I can imagine so. And where are you guys from again? Can you remind us?
I'm from Denmark.
Knut, you're from Denmark?
No, I'm from Denmark.
Oh, Jacob, you're in Denmark.
Jacob's from Denmark, and I'm from Norway.
Ah, okay, Knut, you're in Norway. Excellent.
And we speak almost the same language. I mean, we understand each other. So when we played earlier in the group stages, we spoke, Danish and Norwegian.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah, we could actually just Jeg mener, vi kunne jo bare tale dansk og norsk sammenhæng.
Det kunne godt. Yeah, but then Chad wouldn't understand anything, you know.
No, but
well, don't get me start speaking in Spanish. Then nobody will get it. I live in Texas, so you know there's a lot of Spanish speaking around here.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right.
Wow. Well, that was a really fast, action-packed game. You guys were moving so quickly. It was. I was having to keep my commentating on a very rapid pace. All right. So, are you guys sideboarded and ready for game 2?
Yeah. Just shuffling up here.
Almost need to shuffle and then fix and tricks a little bit. But give me a minute and I'm ready.
All right. Okay, good luck, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so we are on to game number 2. Wow, that was quite the action-packed, rapid match. Knut in Norway and Jacob in Denmark. Both of these decks, really, really cool decks. I thought Jacob might be able to reestablish his ground there and potentially be able to hold off Knut. If he had gotten that amnesia maybe 1 or 2 turns earlier, what a difference that may have made. But he really needed the mana. He needed more mana to be able to stabilize. So let's see what happens this time around. We didn't really have a chance to look at the sideboards much, but let me jump over just real quickly to the decks. These guys are both running, well, Jacob's running 4 active volcanoes and some blood moons, as well as 4 spikes, and he's also got those falling stars. Knut has Magnetic Mountain, 3 active volcanoes, 4 mountain walkers, including the Yetis and the Goblins, as well as some anti-artifact in that Disharmony. So it'll be really interesting to see what these guys decide to sideboard in.
Cards. Maybe not. Yeah, I took out the wrong. I'll go with what? No, I took out the wrong cards. Yeah. Oh, got a card upside down. That's not good. I probably got another card upside down as well. Oops. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
In theory, another card should be upside down, but okay.
Yeah, you'll find it when you draw it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll find it when I draw it, exactly. Yeah, just take the middle.
Yeah, you can take the middle pile as well. And I guess I'll take the play.
Yeah.
Okay, the guys are finally getting started here. Knut was making some changes and some switches to his sideboard. Jacob is on the play.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, middle.
Okay, good game.
Yeah, good game.
Have the fun. But yeah, it was quite intense the first match. Yeah, like
it was. Yeah, I'm always against you. I'm always living in fear of eternal flames, right?
Yeah. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played a deck like this before, but it's like, wow, they are really good.
Yeah, that fish on the Diamond Valley was absolutely good.
Yeah, these guys are kind of chatting about that first match. It was action-packed, quite rapid, And yes, the fissures are incredibly strong. Okay, so Jacob starts off with an island and passes. Knut, a mountain and passes. On to turn 2 for Knut. Oh, wow. So Knut is mana screwed this time. He's having to discard a blazing effigy there. That would have been one of the cards that I might have looked at sideboarding out. And Jacob gets a solid mana curve drop and is able to put his turn 3 Old Man of the Sea in play, which is actually really good. And there is a active volcano which destroys a blue instant or returns a mountain to destroys a blue card or returns it to a hand. And Old Man of the Sea number 2 comes in. Knut really needs to get a land here. He's suffering quite badly on his draws, but he's able to keep pace with that one mountain, and Chain Lightning comes out to zap the Old Man of the Sea number 2. Wow, he's really holding his own even with only that one mountain. Can he get a land on turn 3? Looks like maybe not. He is taking a pause. Really considering what to do here. All right, he's discarding another Eternal Flame. Oof, the old mana screw strikes again. Really tough for Knut. Andreas Holt here. Diamond Valley coming down for Jacob. Now that is a card that I would hold in my hand. Knowing that Knut has 4 fissures and a strip mine, I would hold that Diamond Valley until I had creatures in play and could use it. Let's see. Okay, so Blazing Effigy comes down. It's basically a 0/3 creature, and when something kills it or goes to the graveyard, it can deal 3 damage to any target. So Knut will have to either block with it or, do some damage to it down the road. He does have a Mishra's Factory now as his land for turn, finally on turn 4, getting to just edging into 2 mana. Let's see if he top decks another mountain here. Doesn't look like it, but he does have the Factory, which can attack, and that is incredibly strong. Mishra's Factory is restricted in Four Horsemen. It's such a powerful card. Alright, so first blood for Knut, getting in for 2 damage against Jacob, bringing Jacob down to 18. Knut still hurting badly on mana. Jacob also missing a land drop here. He's got 4 mana, but the Diamond Valley does not tap for mana itself. Okay, so he's Chain Lightning on the Blazing Effigy. That's very interesting. He elects not to let that effigy stay in play, and I believe it can do damage to only a creature. So, alright, so the Factory getting in for another 2 damage. That Factory is going to be a real problem for Jacob if he doesn't get something soon. Ah, interesting. The Boomerang. That is kind of spicy here because that is going to save Jacob on that 2 damage, and it's going to slow Knut down, putting that land back in his hand. He may have to discard a card now because he'll be at 8. So Jacob elects to do it after the damage is done, causing the discard. Very, very, very smart play on the part of Jacob. Okay, so Knut plays looks like he did finally get, nope, he's played the Factory again. Of course, he can't attack this turn. And this gives Jacob a chance to draw another card, see what comes up. Only got a Chain Lightning and decides to use it directly on Knut, bringing him to 17. I'm He's only doing that because he's got a full grip of 7 cards and doesn't want to discard. And here, Knut comes in also for a Chain Lightning of his own to get in 3 more damage, bringing Jacob down to 13. Wow. Jacob gets Mazavith. That is also restricted in Four Horsemen. And that is going to really help against this attacking factory. Meanwhile, Knut finally gets his 3rd mana on turn, 8 or 9? And plays Magnetic Mountain. This is a spicy card. We don't see this card very often, but it is a great card from Arabian Nights that basically costs 2 red and 1, and all blue creatures do not untap, and their owners have to spend 4 to untap them. Really, really cool card that will really mess with untapping of blue creatures. And meanwhile, Jacob plays his Old Man of the Sea. Great card, and it can steal the factory if it attacks, as well as any of the other smaller powered creatures. Alright, Jacob's really starting to hit his rhythm here. He gets a Mishra's Factory of his own. Nice winter Mishra's there. And now he's got 4 mana. He's got the Diamond Valley and can come in and attack. And interesting, he's coming in with the attack, but he does have the Maze of Ith, so he can untap. He can untap and unattack the old man, but instead of blocking with the factory, Knut opts to use his 2nd active volcano, which can destroy a blue permanent. In response, Jacob taps his Diamond Valley, and Diamond Valley allows you to stack a creature to it and gain power equal to its toughness. So Jacob will gain 3 life, moving him to back up to 16. And then Jacob plays a Azure Drake. Knut gets his 5th land finally. He's really going to be rocking and rolling once he's got 5 mana. And now he can play Fisher, and he quickly gets rid of the Diamond Valley. That is such a strong move right here. Taking out that Diamond Valley is... it's one of Jacob's main life-gaining engines. I think maybe his only one. So that is quite a heavy hit with that Fisher. Knut's still at 17, so he's got plenty of life. And let's see. Jacob activates his Mishra's Factory and comes in and attacks with both the Factory and the Azure Drake. That's 4 damage, bringing Knut down to 13. So now we have a 13-16 match. Will we end up with a 1-1 game and go to game 3? It's possible. Jacob's got plenty of mana now, so he'll be able to really bring the aggression. And, Knut has 5 mana now and will be able to bring that red aggression in very intensely here, while Jacob's still got 5 mana. He's attacking with his Factory, electing not to attack with the Azure Drake because he has to pay 4 to untap it. So he knows that Knut has Ball Lightnings and other spicy red cards, so he's holding that Azure Drake back for defense. Another Fisher coming down. Ouch. This is starting to hurt. And the Fisher number 2 takes out the Maze of Ith. A lot of mana for Knut to do that, 5 mana, but being able to kill a land or a creature as an instant is pretty powerful in Four Horsemen. Okay, so with that, Jacob gets his 5th land, his 2nd volcanic island for red and blue. So now he's doing quite well on mana. He has 6 mana total. He can pretty much play anything in his deck with that, and comes in for the attack with both creatures this time, both the Azure Drake and the Factory, getting in for 4 damage and bringing Knut down to 9, taking all 4 on the chin and passing turn after playing a 2nd Azure Drake. Quite strong. So he's got the Azure Drake for defense. He'll need to decide if he wants to pay 4 to untap the other one from the Magnetic Mountain, but we'll see what happens. Knut gets a Maze of Ith of his own, which can actually be very useful, and plays a Rook Egg. Not ideal right here. The Rook Egg is a 0/3 ground creature until it goes to the graveyard, and then at the end of that turn it becomes a 4/4 flyer. So he'll need a way to either do damage or get rid of kill his Rook Egg so that he can turn it into a 4/4 Rook token flyer. Let's listen in and see what the guys have going on here.
Mountain. So you could send one of them home, I guess. I'll swing with both.
Okay, so Jacob does elect to pay the 4 mana to untap his second Azure Drake that attacked last turn. And he comes in with 1 Drake for 2, bringing Knut down to 7 life. 7 to 16. Let's see if Jacob can, or if Knut can get into any of his... Ah, yes, here it comes. Pyrotechnics. This card, not a card that sees a lot of play in other formats, but in Four Horsemen, Pyrotechnics is a powerhouse. This card is from Legends, and it does 4 damage divided any way you choose for 5 mana as a sorcery. So really strong. Comes in. Now, his choice now is he going to do the 2 damage to his, or 3 damage to his Rook Egg to kill the Rook? Yes. And turn it into a 0 or a 4/4 flyer.
And then end of turn I get yeah. Yes. Pass turn to you.
Alright, so he goes ahead and chain lightnings for 4, 1 damage to Jacob, and 3 to the Rook Egg, and at the end of turn he gets a 4/4 flying, a Rook token. Jacob will need to decide what he's going to do, if he's going to untap. Rook Egg is an absolute powerhouse in Four Horsemen. It's a common nowadays, been reprinted, but this card is so strong in Four Horsemen. Amazing ground blocker, and when it dies, it becomes a 4/4 flying Rook at the end of turn, and 4/4 flyers are really strong in Four Horsemen. So Jacob elects to untap, paying the 4 to the Magnetic Mountain to untap that second Azure Drake. And he's animating the factory and attacking with all 3. Wow, Jacob is really bringing the aggression here. He's got 2 mountains or 2 volcanics untapped. So he's representing to Knut here that he has the Chain Lightning, or another way to deal damage and finish off that Rook Egg. So Knut elects to Maze of Ith the Mistress Factory and just take the 4 damage. Wow, that's so dangerous, because a Chain Lightning here would really, really just finish Knut off. I'm very surprised he elected to take all the damage. He must have a way to kill Jacob this turn, possibly. If he gets another mountain, maybe, gets to 6 red mana, that Hammerheim is interesting. It may be better off just being a basic mountain. Okay, so Knut comes in for a head-on 4/4 flying Rook attack in the air, and Jacob takes it, bringing him from 16 down to 11. So Jacob's defense here is his Maze of Ith and his Mistress Factory, but his factory is only going to help with ground defense. So, City of Shadows coming in. This is a great card in combo with things like the Old Man of the Sea. Oh, wow. Double Immolation. Immolation for the for the spicy play. This card is such a reminiscent, old school sidewalk magic card. Legends, 1 red, enchant creature, +2/-2. Really spicy. So that basically takes out the Rook token, doing 4 damage, effectively giving that Rook token +4/-4. What a great move by Jacob. Okay, so now Knut has lost his ground blocker, which he pyrotechnics himself to turn it into the 4th floor. Looks like he's got maybe 2 or 3 cards in hand. Here comes another 5-mana Fisher, and he's taking out the Azure Drake. Fisher is so strong, and this card, just a great card from the dark. And Douglas Schuler art, 3 and 2 red, instant, destroy any creature or land. Very spicy. Oh, and we missed it while I was jumping over to the Gatherer, but Knut comes in with a ball lightning, hitting in for 6, but Jacob has the remove soul to counter spell that ball lightning. Wow. This is such a interesting match. Quite a bit back and forth. Jacob seems to be firmly in control with Knut down to just 3 life. Let's see, can he come into any answers here? He really needs a way to deal with this Azure Drake. He's got the Maze of Ith for now to hold it back, but as soon as Jacob plays another creature, he's going to need a way to deal with it. Jacob could also top deck a Chain Lightning, and that could also be curtains and end things for Knut. Okay, so Knut draws, considering what to do, passes turn, 4 cards. Okay, Jacob also draws, passes turn, 5 cards. Bit of a stalemate, everybody drawing and filling up their hands here. Now, Knut has Immolation as well, so he could do a 2-for-1 to deal with the Azure Drake. Oh, there is the Island of Wak. Such a spicy Four Horsemen card. Straight out of our favorite old school Four Horsemen set, Arabian Nights. Douglas Schuler. This card's never been reprinted. It reduces a flying creature's power to 0 until end of turn. So that will come in handy for any future flyers that Knut might have, including his Rook tokens. And another draw pass from Knut, and another draw pass from Jacob, back to Knut again. So it's really quite a stalemate here. Jacob's almost filled his hand entirely back to 6 cards. Here comes Knut back on the red aggro with the ball lightning. Oh, and remove soul number 2. Ouch. Or is that remove soul number 3? Wow, those remove souls have really helped Jacob out here. Okay, so Knut passes turn and plays his powerhouse, offense and defense, the regenerating flying ghost ship. This card is so strong, and it's so good in particular against Knut's deck, because he's got the ability to block on the 4 defense and regenerate for things like the ball lightning. So this is a turning point, I think, in this game, although Knut's really been on his back heels most of this match, getting mana screwed early on and really playing catch up here. But Jacob's put himself into a commanding position, sitting on 11 life, got Knut down to 3. What will Knut do here? He's got to start getting some more damage in. I think he needs those Eternal Flames if he didn't sideboard them out. He can also keep his red mana up in case Jacob tries Chain Lightning. The Chain Lightning can be bounced around quite a bit. It can be cast by Jacob and returned once by Jacob, but Knut could bounce it back twice. So Chain Lightning could be risky. Okay, Jacob attacks with Ghost Ship and Azure Drake, and Knut does the Maze of Ith to push the Azure Drake back off his attack, taking 2 damage in the air, bringing Knut down to 1 life. Oof. He is in real trouble now. I think Jacob's got this one, and we're going to see a game number 3. There's the Chain Lightning. Now, Jacob can bounce this back, and Knut can bounce it back in return. Will he elect to bounce it back? He does. Okay. And that is game. Okay, it looks like Knut was out of answers.
Man, this was a weird game.
That was a really strange match.
I was just saying the same thing, guys. What a wild match. This time, Knut got the ultimate mana screw on the back heels the whole game. But those fissures, man, oh my goodness, those fissures are killer.
Fissures are MVP in this match.
It's such a great card. I mean, it's very reminiscent of childhood Sidewalk Magic, but in Four Horsemen, it's also extremely powerful because it's an instant.
Yeah, it's like the only instance that I have. Well, I do have that thing against blue, that I boarded in that I never remember what it's called.
The active volcano.
Yeah, I got that one, but beside that, the other ones are all sorceries. So
yeah.
To have the instants, and there's not that many instant removals.
Right. There's very few instants in Four Horsemen that are relevant in combat. Disharmony is one of them, which I saw Knut's got one of those in his sideboard. I love that card, and it's very sneaky. Yeah, but what we see in Four Horsemen is much of the combat instant interactions are actually based around the lands. Maze of Ith, Diamond Valley, you're running City of Shadows with the Old Man, which is a really cool combo. Even one of my cards that I've really been enjoying playing is the Safe Haven, which you can, pop your creature into the Safe Haven. And so the lands and the special lands, I mean, of course, there's Diamond Valley and Maze of Ith and Factory, but the lands are really powerful in Four Horsemen, and that's the primary mechanism for combat interaction.
Yeah, I'm now playing that Safe Haven. Yeah, that could be a good option.
It's good as well.
Yeah,
but Maze of Ith really coming in clutch this game.
Yes, on both sides. On both sides. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you guys. Are you going to change your sideboards?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I did like a minor change, but it's it went very fast.
All right. Well, good luck, gentlemen. Good luck to both of you. I'm excited. We have a 1-1 game. That's always exciting.
Yeah, it's always fun,
Okay. Cheers, guys. Good luck.
Decider. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, just take the middle, Jacob.
Okay. So real quickly, let's just jump back to the deck photos real quick. Knut said he made one quick change. I would take out those blazing effigies just because they're just not great. Although they do block his factory and his old men. I just think they're going to be a little too slow, and I think he wants that disharmony if he can get it. He definitely needs those 3 active volcanoes, and I would definitely make sure to get that disharmony in if he can. It could be a real tricky change for him. Okay, so on the play, Knut starts off with a mountain and a mountain walking Goblins of the Flarg. These guys are awesome. Mountain walking is a big deal in Four Horsemen because red is so strong. And Goblins of the Flarg, talk about Sidewalk Magic reminiscence, right? This guy's only been reprinted a couple times, but originally from the Dark. Great card. Time Wanderstrand. 1/1 Mountain Walker. Okay, so Jacob plays a island on his first turn, and Knut pays a second mountain, attacks in, but Jacob brings Maze of Ith on turn 2, and that's going to be a really strong defense in the early game. Knut will not be able to deal with Maze of Ith early until he can get to 5 mana. So this Maze of Ith will give Jacob quite an advantage to build up his cards, establish his board state. All right, so Knut comes in with a Chain Lightning to the face, 3 damage, bringing Jacob down to 16 on turn 4. And Jacob then drops his 3rd island and plays Old Man of the Sea. Now, Old Man of the Sea is such a powerful card, allowing Jacob to steal his opponent's creatures. Old Man of the Sea is also a really, really, really fantastic Arabian Nights old school throwback. Great art, Susan Van Camp. 2 blue and 1, a 2/3 creature, strong in its own. Tap it, gain control of target creature with power toughness less than or equal to the Old Man. And as long as the Old Man stays tapped, you keep that creature. So Knut does not come in for a Ball Lightning on turn 3, which I was thinking he might do, and pass his turn. Meanwhile, Jacob gets to his 4th land with a Volcanic Island and plays Azure Drake. Back to Knut, who gets his Yidwinifrit into play. Yidwinifrit is also a really, really spicy card. Another Four Horsemen. I think it's YD. The Gather is not cooperating, but it's a 3/6 Efreet that if it blocks, you flip a coin and it can't block. But it's attacking for 3 and its defense is a 6, so it's really strong. Okay, so interesting. Jacob, Immolation on his Azure Drake and attacking with a 4/2 flyer in the air. Not much Knut can do about that, but he does end up getting a Chain Lightning on his turn. That's the vulnerability. Ooh, and ouch, a double whammy here. The Chain Lightning to deal with the Immolated Azure Drake, and then the active Volcano to deal with the Ghost Ship, and it can't regenerate. But Ghost Ship number 2 comes down on Jacob's turn. My goodness, this game is so action-packed and fast-paced. It's really tricky to keep up with it all. Okay, so back to Knut. He's coming in on an attack, 3/6 on the Yidwinifrit, and 1/1 mountain walking with the Goblins of the Flarg. So the Maze of Ith will have to maze the Yidwin, and he'll take 1. He'll take 1 from the mountain walking Goblins of the Flarg getting in, bringing Jacob down to 14, while Knut sits at 16. Knut's still hurting a little bit on mana. Looks like he's not getting to his 4th or 5th mana, whereas Jacob has done quite well with his mana curve here. Comes in again with Immolation number 2 on the Ghost Ship, making that Ghost Ship a 4/2 flyer that can now regenerate. Wow, that is so strong, hitting in the air for 4, and boom, bringing Knut down to 12 life. What? Ghost Ship number 4 is this? Wow. Jacob has just hit every Ghost Ship in his deck and brings in Ghost Ship number 4. What can Knut do with this flying blue onslaught? A Chain Lightning on the Immolated Ghost Ship. Yeah, that's a risk there. Jacob did tap his lands out, and he can't regenerate that Ghost Ship as a result. Alright, so Knut comes in with the Mountain Walking Goblins of the Flarg, and also the 3/6 Yidwinifrit. And passing turn to Jacob. Jacob attacks with the Ghost Ship, gets in for 2 damage, bringing Knut down to 10, and then plays a Azure Drake. Also, risky maneuver here. He's leaving 1 mana up, but he can't pay the 3 blue to regenerate the Ghost Ship here. He's keeping the aggression on really strong and not worried about trying to defend and protect his Ghost Ships. Oh, look at this. The Rook Egg and the Force Spike. Knut pays Rook Egg and Jacob Force Spikes it for 1 mana extra. 1 blue, and if the opponent doesn't play an extra mana, it counters the spell. Quite spicy. Okay, so now Jacob's getting in here for 2+2 in the air with his Drake and Ghost Ship hitting him for 4 and bringing Knut down to 6. 6-14. Jacob has a command and control of this game, but Knut is still stuck on 4 mana. I know he's got Fissures in his hand and he can't cast them. Oh, that's tough. That's just really tough for Knut. 4 more damage in the air, and the Mazavith on the ground, keeping the defense. And wow, the Chain Lightning, and that is game.
The mountain.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Nah, happens. It really sucks. You get annoyed, but that's Magic. That's part of the game.
I feel you. I feel it for sure.
Knut, I guess you probably have 2 or 3 Fissures in hand, and you couldn't cast them, huh?
Yeah, it was terrible. I had
knew it.
the ball lightning and 2 or 3 Fissures. Yeah, it was terrible. It just I got some mana screwed. 2 games in a row. It really sucks.
Yeah, all 3 games actually.
Well, yeah, all 3 games. That's true. If we look at your deck photo, let's see, how many lands are you running? You've got 21.
I'm running 24 lands.
24 is pretty good.
Yeah, because my mana base is like 3 and 4.
Right.
And the Fissures 5,
Yeah.
So it should be more than enough.
Yeah, we've kind of noticed over the last, as Four Horsemen has evolved, that 23 lands is the bare minimum, the tap for mana. And, the strip mine's always there, and the factory can get killed. So actually 24 is much better as a minimum. And then you've got your non-mana producing lands that you can never count. So, in all total, 26 or 27 lands is very common. But yeah, those Fissures do cost 5, so that is the drawback to their powerful instant speed.
Yeah, it is. But still, it's like, I drew so much. Getting so mana screwed in that many games in a row, that was...
yeah, that was insane.
But it hasn't been like that in the earlier matches, It's
right.
been worked much better. But, nah.
Well, Jacob, your deck was also really fun to watch in action. The Immolations with the Azure Drakes and the Ghost Ships. Very cool.
They fill 3 different roles in the deck, right? The removal, they put a bit of tempo on the flyers, and then of course they boost the old man so he can seal bigger stuff.
Yes, they boost the old man. I love that. That is very, very creative. We saw Immolation. We did a pauper. We did a couple of pauper events where only commons were allowed last summer. We did a pauper singleton, and then we later did a pauper doubleton. And, Immolation was everywhere in those games. And I think it really showed the players how efficient that card can be.
It is really good.
Yeah, it is. I ran a couple of Immolations myself.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was wondering if throughout the match, if you were going to come across yours, because they work really well in tandem with Chain Lightning or particularly with Pyrotechnics.
Yeah, or the idea is, to put them on the effigy, because then he becomes like this annoying 2/1, and if you
or the Rook Egg.
kill him, he gets to shoot something.
Yeah, that's right. And
or
the Rook Egg too.
Same function.
The Immolation on Rook Egg is a classic, right? Because now he's beating in, and if they block, then he gets even bigger. The Blazing Effigy also showed its head up in the pauper events and turned out to be pretty good because it could block Factory and a lot of the smaller cards.
Yeah, but I took them out after round 1.
Yeah.
Saw the deck list of Jacob, and it's like, it's better to put in those.
Yes, I was in the commentary. I was saying, I bet you he's going to take those Blazing Effigies out. They're just not great against the matchup.
Yeah, they don't really do anything. At worst, like the liability, right?
Yeah.
If you have a Brothers of Fire out and I kill your effigy, then you'll have to kill your Brothers of Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and also you play with those falling stars. I remember.
So I took out all the 2 defense creatures.
Yes.
So you wouldn't get any benefit from it, you know?
I cut the Falling Star.
Ah, man!
Yeah, Falling Star is another really powerful card. You know, it's we've been kind of watching it on the watch list. You know, we don't have Earthquake, we don't have Fireball, or you know, we don't have Disintegrate, and we don't have things like Wrath of God really. So the cards like Falling Star are one of the board wipe options, but they can only kill, you know, things of 3 or less, so the big stuff can survive.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But it's sorcery speed, and that's I think sorcery speed removal is pretty bad against this mono red deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of like the ball lightnings and stuff. Yeah.
The ball lightnings are killer. Yes, coming in for that 6 damage and the trample. Yeah, I really thought you know, Knut had a potential to turn that other game around, but the remove souls, right? Your remove souls, Jacob, were so timely.
Yeah.
Every time you played a ball lightning, you had the remove soul.
Yeah, I'm kind of saving them for the ball lightnings,
yes,
to be honest.
Very smart. Wow, well, that was a really fun game to watch. Lots of action, super fast pace. I think it's going to make a great video. Okay, so
cool.
Izzet Immolation Control moves on to the finals, the semifinals. So, Jacob, you're going to be playing either Philippe Bizian or Isako Patini, depending on who wins that match. Those guys are playing
I'm rooting
tonight.
for Isako for sure.
Yeah, because you already beat him twice or something.
Yeah, he was in my group and he's on mono white, and I have a pretty good matchup against mono white.
Oh yes, that's right. Your deck will be really strong against the. He's playing that white banding Jihad deck. Is that right?
Yeah, with the angelic voices.
Angelic Jihad. Yeah, that's what we called it. Yeah, and Philippe Bizian this will be his probably 5th or 6th time in the finals. And Philippe is a very strong player. He won tournament number 2 way back in the day. And he's been trying to take Tax Edge all the way to first place for many tournaments. He's gotten second.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's gotten second, I think, twice or maybe even 3 times. But never first place with the Tax Edge. So
oh, that must be annoying.
Yeah,
you're so close.
He's been very persistent and patient and continues to not give up. And we may see Tax Edge as your deck that you face off against.
Great stuff for him. I didn't include the flash floods in my sideboard.
Right.
Yeah, that's a change you're gonna do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, nice playing and nice chatting with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
likewise.
You for
game and nice speaking with you, Chad. You know, live and not only on the texting. And thank you for fixing, you know, this whereby and camera. And congratulations, Jacob. I'm still a bit sour, but tomorrow I'm gonna smile and cheer for you. You know.
Yeah, and I'll remember to tell Anders to put up some more videos.
Yeah, you do that and tell him to play mono green.
I will.
Anders, I know, Chad. Do you know that the channel for Old School is called the Gandalf the Dark?
Oh yes, guys. Anders actually joined us for tournaments 1 and 2 for Four Horsemen early in the early days.
Nice.
The original plan that I put together was I was trying to have a really strong commentator from the US and a really strong commentator from Europe. And Anders joined me to represent the European crew, and Brian Weissman joined me to represent the Americans. And if you look in the Four Horsemen YouTube, go back to tournament 1 and 2, there's some playlists. You'll see the commentary by Anders and Brian together, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think I saw them. His Anders is one of my friends. We are on the same old school crew.
Well, you should tell him about you guys playing. I'm sure he'd find it fascinating. You know, this is a niche format, and we're really starting to see a lot of interest because, you know, Swedish and Atlantic have kind of been solved in many respects, and this format is still, you know, very ripe for innovation. It's fresh, all these different cards you never get to play with. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's really good, and I really like that. You know, proxy policy. You know,
that is very controversial. we get a lot.
Because then it's accessible, and you can just use every card.
Yes, that's
and
the
I
idea.
think if you hadn't have it, the format would be too expensive, so you wouldn't have any players. You know, it would
That's
be
right.
like 5 guys who has the cards, and they're the only ones playing it. You know?
That's right. Yeah. Now, a lot of the really strong cards are restricted, but there's still
yeah, that's good.
many expensive cards like Jusum is not restricted. But yes, we decided early on that having a reprint policy, allowing reprints and allowing proxies both, the vast majority of our players don't really prefer or want to use proxies. In fact, some of our players only build with cards that they have, and that handicaps them, but they're still having fun. And some of our other players have made really fantastic custom proxy cards. In fact, I don't know if you guys have seen the cards that John Eckleberry made that are proxy cards for the decks. He's made everything from Guardian Beast and Oubliette and Jusum Jin, the Rook tokens.
Yeah. Those are the potential prizes, right?
Yes, that's right. So we're giving those away as prizes.
Yeah, I've been really forward looking to getting a card because it's my second tournament.
Yeah.
And, in the first tournament, I was like, I want to go further from the group stage to get the card, and then I lost all my games. I was like, ugh.
Yes, well,
It was like the big aim for this tournament, to make it to get the card.
Yeah, that's exactly why those cards are there. And what we've done is we've also made some really kind of cool cards, like we did the Arabian Nights Islands. That was one of the first cards we did.
That was beautiful.
Everybody loves that. And we've got a really cool card back too, a custom Four Horsemen card back. John recently did Fallen Angel, which looks amazing. He's taking the artwork from the comic books. If you remember the Magic comic books from 93, 94.
No, I never got to read those.
Well, he's using the
those
artwork.
Are pretty cool, though.
Yes.
I've made myself some Homeland Basics for the Forgotten Realms format.
Oh, yeah. That's another format that John is helping to manage. John has been awesome. He's been such a great supporter. And, we also did the first place prize, which is the Ken Meyer Jr. Guardian Beasts Purple Moonlight playmat. And so if you win first place, you get one of those playmats. We'll ship it to you. And
I'm really have big plans on getting first place.
Well, that's great, man. That's great. We really want we really want the community to have a lot of competitive fun, and we're really trying to keep the prizes spicy and interesting. So good luck, and we're going to be doing another tournament soon. So
yeah, I was going to ask that because I see there's no new tournament up on Tolaria yet.
I haven't put it up there yet. I've been very busy trying to get these videos out.
Right.
I don't know if you guys saw the video with Brian Weissman. But we recently did Brian is still collaborating with me. He's a friend of mine. And what we did recently was we recorded a live match, and it was the finals for Tournament 17. I had not been in the finals before. And we've been playing about 2.5 years, and it was my first time making it to the finals because all the players have gotten really good. And so we did a live stream and live commentary with Brian, and that took a lot of custom editing, basically. The way I do the videos now, I can use OBS to do these videos and cast them live, which really makes it really cuts down on the work that you have to do to make a good video. But when we do something special like that, like we did with Brian, I have to go and actually fully produce the videos and do all the editing. So it takes a lot of time and work to do that.
Yeah, I guess it is time consuming.
Yeah.
I think so. I think maybe either I saw it or I started seeing it, and then something happens I didn't get to finish, because I think I saw you in a final, and I was like, yeah, he's probably in the final every second tournament.
No, I've never been. Yeah, that
the first one.
That was my very first time, and it was a lot of fun. And Brian enjoys doing the commentary too, so he's offered to do it again, and we may be able to do another one of those events. what we did is we scheduled it. We created an invite, and then everybody joined on a Saturday, and we had, I think, 14 people watching, and then we had Brian and John commentating, and it was a big party. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
So hopefully we can do that again for the finals for this tournament.
Yeah. Well, I have to run.
Okay.
It's getting bedtime here in Denmark.
Yes. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And
thank you.
Appreciate you.
See you around.
See you around, yeah. See you later in the Horseman places. Yeah, great.
Okay, cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Have fun. And again, thanks, Chad, for fixing everything.
Yeah, thanks for participating. Spread the word amongst the Norwegian and Danish folks for us.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay,
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Okay. Ciao.
Bye.
How do you... Yeah.